Hello artists! In this video we're going to talk about our ribbon cross-hatching project. In this project you will be able to identify different types of marks, tools, and artists who use cross-hatching. You're going to create a line drawing with at least 4 different types of 3-dimensional ribbons. You're going to shade the ribbons using cross-hatching and hatching marks, and you're going to color the ribbons with blending and gradients. Here's another example. The essential questions for our ribbon project is: how can we create realistic drawings with the illusion of a 3-dimensional form? What materials and tools are best creating hatching, shading, and gradient blending in our art? And what themes can we use to illustrate with ribbons? Our rubric for this project, we're going to focus on our drawing skills and technical proficiency. We're looking for exceptional use of shading, hatching, and blending techniques, demonstrating precision in both pencil and pen and Sharpie work. We're looking for variety in the ribbons and your creativity. We're looking that you demonstrate creativity by successfully creating all 4 ribbons with distinct characteristics and adding unique elements beyond the basic requirements. For your gradient and color blending and your theme choice, we're looking for the exceptional use of colored pencils to create smooth, seamless gradients, effectively blending 2 colors together, successfully integrating the ribbon into the theme. And your overall presentation, that your artwork is presented in a professional and appealing manner, considering the composition, the neatness, and the overall layout of your piece. And finally, your artist statement, that your artist statement is clear, insightful, and effectively communicates your intent, your inspiration, and thoughts behind the project. Let's talk about types of marks and tools. So in this image, we have in the top left corner an apple that's drawn in a stippling style, which is tiny dots. And the closer the dots are placed together, the darker it looks, and the further apart the dots are placed, the lighter it looks. Blending tools, some people will call these a tortillon or a stump. They're smooth and they help you blend so that there are no visible lines. It's just rolled up paper. You could also use a Q-tip. Hatching lines are parallel lines, and in this example we have vertical hatching lines. Cross-hatching lines are intersecting lines that crisscross, and scumbling is circular marks that move, build, and add texture. Artists who use cross-hatching, one example is Francisco Goya, and this is his Los Caprichos. It's from 1799. He made 80 etchings with aquatint. And these are 2 examples. The Sleep of Reason produces monsters, and they spruce themselves up. Another artist who uses hatching is Maurice Sendak. He's a recently alive artist. He was living in 1990 when he produced the illustrations for the children's book Where the Wild Things Are. Here's another example of Maurice Sendak's artwork from Where the Wild Things Are, where he uses lots of hatching and cross-hatching. Here's another example of Maurice Sendak's artwork from Where the Wild Things Are. Vincent van Gogh is an artist who also uses cross-hatching and hatching lines. He did this portrait, and he also did lots of landscapes in this style with hatching and cross-hatching lines. Peter Paul Rubens is another artist who uses hatching and cross-hatching lines. In his artwork, he likes to focus on studying the body and showing the bones and the muscle structure. Let's talk about tips for drawing with hatching lines. On the left, we have some examples of different styles of hatching. We have hooked hatching lines. We have inconsistent spacing between the lines, mismatched clusters, excessively close spacing, failure to hatch to the edge, curved hatching, too much space between the lines, 90-degree angle hatching, which we saw in Maurice Sendak's artwork, isolated clusters of cross-hatching, stippling into regular rows of patterns, stippling with dashes instead of dots, and failure to stipple to the edge. These examples that are on the left are things to try to avoid. But here are some tips of things that you should do. Clean your hands. Clean the table. Draw lightly with pencil first so that your pencil lines do not leave ghost lines. Sit over your drawing so you have a clear tip of your drawing pen. Pull the pen towards you and rotate your drawing so you're pulling the pen towards yourself. Hatching lines should be evenly spaced, and hooked lines happen when you are rushing, so slow down. Don't try to reach across your entire drawing. Do not rest the tip of the pen on the paper so that you will avoid the ink bleeding. Be careful not to slide a ruler over your wet ink. Do not press hard with the pen. Erase any faint lines only when your work is dry. And please put the cap on your tool when it's not in use.